Hello, welcome, it's Liz. Today, this is the card I'll be sharing with you. This is a stamp set that as soon as I saw it in the catalog, I wanted it right away, and I did not order it right away. And I'm not sure why, because each time I went back to it and saw it in the catalog, I'm like, I want the stamp set. So, this is what it is. It's called Hope and Prayer. I think it's super important. I love the words that are in it. So I thank God every time I think of you. Under his wings you will find refuge. You are in my prayers. Hope anchors the soul. I love it. And I just want to give you a little practical thing about it. Sometimes we look at something and go, well, I'm not sure if I would use that. I love crosses. I'm not sure I love this cross, and it's just my personal opinion. I have no real reason why. It's just my personal opinion. But honestly, I love everything else about it. So I will definitely get my money's worth by using the sayings that are in it and the anchor here. I love this. So don't just discount a stamp set because you think, oh, there's one or two in there I may not ever use. If you would use the others many times, it's so worth it. So Hope and Prayer, that's this stamp set. And then I will also be using Forever Fern. Okay. The ink colors that I'll be using today are Blackberry Bliss, a color we've had for a while, Old Olive, and Pool Party. So they're not any brand new colors, but great colors together. Blackberry Bliss, Old Olive, and Pool Party. I will be using a blending brush. I've used that before, but I'll be using that today. The punch that I'll be using is Label Me Lovely. Label Me Lovely. And what else will I be using? Oh, I'll be using this ribbon here. This is kind of fun. This ribbon is glittered organdy ribbon. I'm not sure if you can see the glitter there. Maybe, oh, there you can. I think you can. Okay, glitter organdy ribbon. And I'll be using that also. So let's get started. The papers that I'm using here, I have Old Olive as my card base. So it's an 8.5 by 11, cut in half, and then I have it scored already in the center. Let me go ahead and use my bone folder, and we'll get a nice crease on that. Okay, so that's the base of the card. This piece here, that's the other side. This piece here is from a fantastic pack of paper. The pack of paper is called Design a Daydream. It is 12 by 12. This is a pack of paper that you can get with host rewards. Host rewards can be earned, let me just explain this to you, can be earned by yourself or with a group of other people. And you're putting in a $150 order, and then you can choose some special items that are only for those who put in a $150 order, whether it's your own or a group of people. Look at this pack of paper. It's huge. And these are all the papers that are inside. I'm just going to give you kind of a quick look here. Aren't they beautiful? I love them because there's a couple that have flowers, but they're not really flowery, which I think we have a lot of flower papers. So this is great. You have geometric shapes. There's bicycles, stripes. Like there's a flower one there, but it's not really a super flowery stamp set. Just beautiful. Okay, so this is one that you can choose for free. It's a pack you can choose for free. It cannot be purchased. Choose for free with a $150 order. And it is called Design a Daydream. Okay, so that's where this paper is coming from. And then I'm going to grab a piece of white cardstock. Okay, this white cardstock, I don't even know. I didn't write the measurement down. Let's see. This white cardstock that you will need is 3.5 by 4 3/4. 3.5 by 4 3/4. All right. I took a piece of vellum cardstock. This is vellum cardstock. You can see through vellum cardstock. This vellum cardstock is the size of a front of a card. Okay. Well, maybe even be a little bit bigger. I want it to be bigger. So it's 4 1/4 by maybe 5 3/4. Okay. Basically, you want it to just be the size of the front of your card. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is the reason I want vellum, what I did is I took this punch, I slid it all the way in, so it's all the way as far as it can go, and then I made sure it was about even from side to side, not a huge importance because you can see through it since it's vellum, okay? And then that's it. So you can use this over and over again. This is going to be your template. So I'm going to take this and see with the vellum, I can see through it. I can tell exactly where I'm placing it. So I'm grabbing the old olive ink pad. And what's nice about this grid paper is I can actually, if I want to make sure it's exactly lined up, I can line this up with the lines that are on this grid paper. And then I can lay this on top. And I can line up on either side. I can line up on the top to get it in the middle. Okay, so that's what I have at the moment. That's my template. And then I'm just going to take my blending brush and hold on to this and start off the white paper. I want it down here like on this vellum, and we're just going to brush up. And just start making some, and start light. Remember, I've said this before that you can always go darker, but once it's dark, it's really hard to go back. So I actually think that might even be a little too dark, but we'll see what we can do here. So I'm going to brush it off on here and then go up here. And I actually don't even like the way that is, so I'm going to flip that over on the back. We've got that fancy two-sided paper, remember? If you don't like it on one side, flip it over. Okay, let me try this again because I really don't like the way that turned out. Get rid of that darkness. We don't want the dark. And then we're going to slowly move up top here. And there's plenty of ink. I don't need to re-ink it. Okay, and I'm going to take that off, and there we go. I like that one better. All right, and then you can let this, because this is vellum, it'll stay wet for a little bit, but it'll dry, and you can just keep reusing this over and over again. And the nice thing about the vellum, because you can see through it, you can move it all over the place. Okay, so try that with any punches that you have. It's awesome. All right, let's put that aside. Actually, I want to leave that out for now. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this leaf here. And again, this is from the Forever Fern. This is the stamp set. Okay, so from Forever Fern, I'm going to ink it well. And I don't want everything to be full strength. So I'm going to stamp. And then I'm not going to re-ink again. I'm just going to stamp again right here. And you're going to get them. See how one's dark, one's lighter. And we'll do that again. I'm going to stamp right on top. And then I'm going to go here and just stamp again where it's lighter. Okay, so that way you have varying degrees of your darkness of your ink. Set that aside. I'm done with that for now. In the Forever Fern, there's these little itty bitty dots right here, and you think, what do I do with those? They are great little filler inners. Okay, let me grab the Pool Party ink. Is that a word, filler inner? Probably not. But I'm just going to tap that lightly. You don't want to press hard. When you press hard into your ink pad, you end up with ink all around the edges of your stamp, and then that's how you catch edges on the card. And so just lightly, just tap, 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 stamp. Tap, 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 stamp. Don't press it into your ink pad. You get way more ink than what you need. And anywhere there's just little kind of like white spaces, I'm just adding in these little speckles. It's almost like, it reminds me like in a bouquet of flowers when they add baby's breath in. It just fills in. So think of these little speckles as the baby's breath here. Okay, and that's it. And you don't want to overboard with it. Don't go crazy with it. Just add in just a little bit. A little bit goes a long way. Close that up. And let's pull out the Blackberry Bliss. And I'm using the words that say, under his wings you will find refuge. God is definitely my refuge. So I'm going to take this here. And let me see. Sorry, I'm going to pull this down a little bit because I need to see right on top looking down. And so I think we're still on the camera. There we go. And we're going to go straight down and straight back up. And there you go. Look at that. Isn't that a great way to add a frame to the words that you're stamping? close that up right away so my ink pads don't dry out. And then I'm going to take this piece here and I'll grab my adhesive. Remember my mistake I made? So it's not really a mistake. I probably could have just used that. I just didn't want to. But on the back side, I'm going to go ahead and adhere it to a card. No one's going to know except you. It's our secret. Okay. So put this down here. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my ribbon here. Okay, look what happens here. I told you this before, but let me just show you that. This is my original card. My ribbon is down here. I took this, when I turned this over, put adhesive on, I put it down, and I got a little bit of ink, a little schmutz up top here. I'm not really liking that. I could just go ahead and put my ribbon down here and say this is my sample, but I'll use this later, and I don't like that little schmutz up there. So a couple things. You could move your ribbon up top, which is what I think I'm going to do now, or you could grab some gems and some, you know, some kind of rhinestone or whatever embellishments you have, and you could put that over top of that. I'm going to try to see if I can put my ribbon right up on the top. So I'm going to make my ribbon just a little bit longer than the width of my card. Let's see how this works out. And remember, there are so many big stresses in life, and this isn't one of them. So if you don't like the way it looks, it's easy to just pull it apart, do something else. This should be a relaxing part of your day. I'm going to add that ribbon right up top here. Okay, so I'm just wrapping it around and sticking it. And then I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive over the ribbon part so that it sticks well on my base. All right, let's put that on there. Okay, so when you make a little bit of a, what we would call like maybe a mistake on your card, which we know as crafters, there's always ways to cover that. How do you do it? What do you do with it? Do you tend to just throw it away and start over? Do you find an embellishment? Do you find a ribbon? Do you take a stamp and stamp something over top of it? How do you take care of those things that would otherwise be called a mistake and just make it work into your card? I'd love to hear what you do. So I'm taking this extra little piece here and tie that on there. So this is that little faux bow, which I have made in many other videos before. We're just going to snip that off, and we'll snip this side. Okay. And there we go. And it's done. Okay. So I moved the ribbon to the top to cover up my little ink schmutz that I had. So there's the two cards. One's with the ribbon down here. One's with it up top. I like it both places. So that's the card for today. That's the idea. Grab some vellum cardstock. I have that on my website, stampingontherock.com. If you don't have it, grab some vellum cardstock and whatever label punches you have. Punch that. Use it as a template. Blending brushes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Love these things. And the two stamp sets I use, Forever Fern and Hope and Prayer. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Keep crafting. Bye-bye.